Good morning, y'all. Golden Era Gaming here. Real name Jesus. I just woke up, went and bought myself some cigarettes, did the bed, threw the garbage out, got myself a burrito, and something really has been bugging me. I posted another thread on Reddit last night explaining why I believe Venom Snake is Big Boss, and I received a lot of negativity, a lot of backlash. So I figured I would make this video to just rant and put my theory into words before it catches on, like a year or two from now. Like this goes, like this has gone my entire fucking life. Like I'm just going to say it now, and I don't want to say that I invented it. You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely saw somebody else state this first, but I do want to say that I've ran with it and I've come up with a lot of the ideas. And importantly here, I've joined in the discussion about it. And again, I didn't invent it, but I'm probably one of the first guys to do a YouTube video about it and just state it plainly and be as passionate about it as I am. Yeah, Venom Snake is Big Boss. The game, The Phantom Pain, which is geniusly done. The more I think about it, the more I like it. It's a 10 out of 10. It really is classic. The game is made and set so that you can go insane. Its whole idea is to make the player suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder and their shell shock. I wasn't too sure about this until I played the side op called Extract the Wandering Mother Base Soldiers. And they're all walking around with shell shock. And if you play Love Deterrence on the cassette tapes, you'll see them, they like break out of their shell shock and they salute you and they call you boss or whatever. So that's where it started to hit me that PTSD was a theme of the game. Excuse me. And if you watch my video from July, I've been saying for a while that Big Boss was crazy. This was my theory going into the game, that Big Boss would be crazy, and the game proved me right. And there's a lot of reasons for that, which I'm going to cover. First and foremost, in the prologue, when Ishmael and Big Boss are side by side and they're shooting at those two guys in the doorway or whatever, those two guys never shoot at Ishmael. Ishmael never gets shot at. That's because he's not there. They continually shoot at Big Boss, and I know you're saying, well, it was their job to kill Big Boss, but if there's two guys in a hallway shooting at you, you're going to shoot at both of them. But they were just legitimately shooting at Big Boss. That was done so that you could notice that they're not shooting at Ishmael. Then, of course, there's the thing that Ishmael has two eyes, Big Boss only has one eye, so it would make no sense for Ishmael to have two eyes. Like, did Big Boss grow an eye while he was in fucking coma? That doesn't make any sense. The idea of both of them waking up after 9 years makes no sense. The idea of Big Boss staying in the hospital for 9 years after he has already woken up, who knows when, makes no sense. Like, none of it makes any sense. Then there's the moment when Ishmael tosses the silencer, jumps over the balcony and starts shooting. If you see the guards, they run to where the silencer made noise and they stand there and they look around. That's what they would do if you throw a magazine. Like, if something makes noise, you go and you check it. So what happened is Big Boss threw the silencer and he imagined Ishmael diving off the thing, but all he did was throw the silencer. Really wish there were scenes where this was shown and I wouldn't have to tell you, but it's not. Again, if you're under 18, get the fuck out of here. You shouldn't be playing this game in the first place. And it's funny. If you like, I think a lot of the reason I'm getting resistance from this theory, and I think a lot of the reason the internet hasn't taken to it, is because the younger generation really wants to have their own Snake. And you have him. His name is Venom. And if you want to pretend that this theory holds no weight, then get the fuck out of here before I blow your mind some more. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to any of the theories. And whenever the grown-ups are having this discussion, just shut the fuck up. you know, and you can have your discussion with your little friends that are having the Venom discussion. You know, this is for us. This is for the grown-ups that see what's going on in this game. Another thing is when you build the nuke, which you're supposed to build a nuke because Big Boss in Metal Gear 1 has a nuke. When you build the nuke, you get into demon mode, which is Big Boss is just covered in blood from head to toe. And you can take a shower in the game, but it won't wash off any of the blood. You know, that's crazy. Big Boss is crazy. That's not something that's normal. That's not something that a normal human being would feel. And I know that you're saying, well, you know, Metal Gear Solid has always had crazy stuff, and it has, but this is a little much. You know what I mean? And especially like the thing that holds this whole thing together is that you have the scenes with Paz, and Paz, you have the Paz tapes, and Paz explicitly tells you, but of course, this is just what you think I should think. You know, like she explicitly tells you, you're just thinking this is what I should think. I don't exist. Like she explicitly says, you know, I'm a figment of your imagination. You're insane. Um, she says, if you're hearing this, then you already know the truth, which again pushes forward the idea that Big Boss is dealing with PTSD, just like those wandering mother base soldiers. And then in comparison to like other metal, my bad. In comparison to other Metal Gear Solids, sometimes I stumble, you know, being multilingual. Sometimes that'll happen. In comparison to other Metal Gear Solids, like Metal Gear Solid 4 was very depressing, and this game is crazy. Like it's supposed to make the player feel insane, and that's why a lot of us on the internet have been losing our minds for the last 2 weeks over this video game. Like quite literally, I think a lot of us have been like trying to hack the game and trying to do all of this crazy stuff, and it's because the story is supposed to make you feel crazy. It's supposed to make you feel like something's not there, because that something that's not there is a part of Big Boss's brain. He's not coherent. He's not where he should be mentally. And you know, there's a lot of talk about the Chapter 3 stuff, and like if we're going to get DLC and whatever. And I know it's still the last day of Tokyo Game Show, but I don't think we're ever gonna find Chapter 3. And the reason for that is Chapter 3 is called the Peace, right? And so Big Boss wants his peace, right? But like if you know the lore, if you know what happens, he never finds peace. You know, so in essence, we, the video game players, are searching for peace. We're trying to find this third chapter called Peace, and we're never going to find it. You know, and that's exactly what Big Boss went through. So, you know, when Kojima says you are Big Boss, he's legitimately saying, I've made you feel these emotions. I know how good I am. You're suffering from insanity right now while playing this game. I got you. You are Big Boss. You're searching for peace too. I know what my fans will do for this game, and you're never going to find it. That's what he's saying. You know, because Big Boss never finds peace. You know, he builds out of heaven, he makes his nukes, and then, you know, Solid Snake comes along and play Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. Those are both Solid Snake versus Big Boss. And there's a lot of things too. Like I looked at my staff and I found somebody named Raven. You know, that would be Vulcan Raven. You know, and then like there's a bunch of guys that could be Gray Fox. And then Quiet. You combine Quiet and you combine Dee and you have your Sniper Wolf right there. I don't think Quiet is in the game. Like I think she's a hallucination, and I know that's another thing that really bothers teenage boys, especially because like to them this is like having their first girlfriend, you know. But Quiet's not real, guys. She's not. More than likely she died when in the hospital scene when Big Boss put her on fire, and or Big Boss shot her after episode 11. She's not real, guys. That whole story about Quiet isn't real, and I can state that because I killed her after episode 11, and nothing changed. Like nothing changed at all, you know. So something to think about. I did pick up Dee because I felt that Dee was part of the canon. You know, Sniper Wolf has a whole speech, which you can watch in my video, where she tells you that she met Big Boss when she was a young girl, and which was during the 80s, and that she was a Kurd, which means she was in the Middle East, and this game takes place in the Middle East, so you know it all adds up. Yeah, I mean, Big Boss is insane. He has split personality disorder, and if you haven't seen the pause cutscene where they're interacting with one another, the stuff that Revolver Ocelot says about pause, that's what Big Boss has. Again, excuse me, I'm multilingual, so sometimes my tongue is confused. Um, yeah, that's what Big Boss has. The stuff that uh, Miller and Ocelot, no, stuff that Ocelot says Paz has, because Paz doesn't exist, so Paz can't have that symptom. You see what I'm saying? Paz is dead, and Miller and Ocelot aren't there. Because if Paz is dead and the tapes let you know that she's dead, and the end of the hallucination with Paz lets you know that she's dead, then that means Paz and Miller aren't there. So anything that they say, anything that Paz said, was made up in Big Boss's own head. So when Ocelot was saying the stuff about what Paz had, what he was really doing is Big Boss is by himself mentally letting himself know that he has a problem, that he's insane. You see what I'm saying? And the game did a great job of hiding it, because I personally went insane while playing it. I'm unsure as to how many other players felt the same way, but there's this feeling of insanity, of wanting, of feeling that something is missing, and of split personality disorder, because you have no idea what's going on, and like, it's just really well done overall. It's just really well done. I guess the split personality disorder, if you want to get even more into it, would be like, because we feel that we are Big Boss, you know what I'm saying? So that would separate us from our real world surroundings, because a lot of us get attached to the characters that we're controlling. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm just a nerdy dude who really, really loves these games. I could be way off, you know. But that's my take on it. That's my interpretation. There's a bunch of different interpretation. Everybody can look at it however they want to look at it. That's fine with me. Just that if we're having a discussion, and I beg the internet to follow me on this Reddit and MGS forums and 4chan and NeoGAF and anywhere you may be. If the discussion is about Big Boss having an PTSD, then don't join it if you don't agree with it. And if this discussion is about Venom Snake being his own person, then don't join it if you don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just agree to disagree, and find peace amongst ourselves as a community. You know what I'm saying? Because I can understand why you would want it to be Venom, because it's clearly labeled the truth. So you guys may be the ones that have the truth, and those that are like myself, maybe we're the ones that are reaching. I don't know. Like the truth episode, which is mission 46, episode 46, clearly says there's no such thing as fact, only interpretations. This is just an interpretation, guys. If I'm wrong, you know what I mean? Hey, it is what it is. If I'm right, then cool. It doesn't matter. But legit, 100%, I am behind the PTSD theory. I believe Big Boss is suffering from hallucinations, split personality disorder, schizophrenia, and whatever the hell else Ocelot said. I didn't remember it, but it was a lot of symptoms that he has. Excuse me. I think there's a lot of clues throughout the whole game that let you know this. Even the beginning of the game, that stuff isn't happening. And Psycho Mantis being around, you can't believe your thoughts when Psycho Mantis is around. He manipulates everything around you. So, like, that's another added bonus to adding to the PTSD theory. I haven't played it a lot. I've only played it once, and this is my initial reaction to it. I'm pretty sure that if I played through it again, I would find even more stuff that supports this theory. Yeah, that's what the smirk was. When he broke the mirror, that's what the smirk was. Because deep inside, Big Boss knows he's both. But he's found a way to cope with being who he is. So he gives the broken mirror a little smirk, because he doesn't remember. If you recall, the mission 1 and mission 46 have different faces in the mirrors. You see what I'm saying? So his mind is so fucked up that he doesn't know what he saw in the mirror. So when he looks at a mirror, he gets upset because he doesn't know who he is anymore. He's suffering from PTSD, and he just punches it. But then he's like, whatever, I am who I am. And deep inside, he knows he's still Big Boss. He's coming around to it. Or, you know, I could be wrong. It's up to y'all. I don't give a shit. I still want proof that I've been saying this, that I'm a firm believer of this theory. Um, yeah, Big Boss is crazy, yo. I mean, I still think it's a cop out. I still think it's weak as fuck, especially if we're not going to get any confirmation from Kojima, which I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to, because you know there's those of us that would want to follow this, and there's those of us that wouldn't. So it makes sense to split the fandom. It is what it is. Um, you know, they're going to make more money off of it. But all in all, I'm happy that I was able to interpret it this way. Um, and I stand by my interpretation of it 100%. That is Big Boss. Venom Snake is Big Boss. But Big Boss is suffering from severe mental disorders. So he splits his personality into two, a la Tyler Durden in Fight Club. And that's what Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain is. And the Phantom Pain is the pain of loss, of us having a story here, of us being able to feel the story, but it not being there because we have a protagonist who can't be trusted. And also, it's the phantom pain for others because they lost Quiet and because they thought they were playing as Big Boss and they're finding out that they're not. You know, it's the phantom pain to them because of that. Whereas to us, it's the phantom pain because what we believe is the story is still there, but it's not there. And we wanted to play as Big Boss, and we got to, but he's insane, so it's not the Big Boss we know. So we're also experiencing the phantom pain for that. Like I said, it's just two theories, two sides of the fandom. You're allowed to be on whatever side you want, but overall, I think it's genius that Kojima was able to make it so that everybody's happy. And I do think it's a punk move. I do think it's a little soft on the artistic side of things. Like I think he should have stuck to his convictions. I think he should have came out guns blazing. But I understand it. And like I said, there's a lot of things that I will probably be able to find that support this theory on my second playthrough. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day since it's so early in the morning. And V for victory.